Hiya. So it's Lexi here, and welcome back to the Lex and Lace podcast. I am still in Botswana at the moment, still here. I mentioned that I got a job in the last, well, someone mentioned it for me. So, yeah, got a job. Things will slowly unravel what the job's about, but if you check my LinkedIn, you know what I do. I I basically yap for a living now. So I yap here and then I yap. I yap here, then I yap for work because I'm a lecturer, but I'll get into the details of that later on. So then, um, what else? This episode, we have a guest. Hi, guest. How are you?
Hello. Hello, Alexandra.
Hiya.
I I have been good. I've been good. It's been a long while since we've caught up. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm excited.
you're excited. So, guest, this is a really good friend of mine, actually. Who are you? What do you do? And how did we meet?
I am Saurav, and as the fans would probably like to know, that we've been friends from university during our time in post-graduation in London.
Yeah, we did masters together. Shout out Queen Mary.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah, shout out. So yeah, we were classmates during the course of our course, and yeah, and it was actually a really fun encounter. Our first encounter was really a fun one. The way we'd met for the first time, you know?
We met. What is it? What was that? What was the module called? It was Introduction to Arbitration, something like that, like arbitration law, methods and what,
Yes.
something like that. I think that's
Yeah,
what.
if I remember correctly, it was a class which was being taken by Professor Stavros.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Stavros.
yes, it was his lecture, and yeah, and about a first meeting, it was really a fun one, yeah, you know. So as Lexi might already know, I had a laptop which I still own,
Yeah,
and one of my classmates
dude,
spilled coffee all over my laptop.
that was.
I know it was probably an accident, but
Yeah,
then
no, for sure.
yeah, but then it happened, and that kind of ruined my laptop. And although most people in the class were indifferent when all of this was happening,
That's true.
Lexi was the one who had offered me a tissue to wipe my laptop clean and also sort of help me out a little with a
Hmm.
little tips as to like turn it around and like place it so that all of the coffee seeps out.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh, so I think at some point I was like taking your laptop and I was like, not like shaking it like a rag, but I was like, oh my God, get all the water out. Meanwhile, like
Yeah,
there's a lecture happening in between this. It's like we're learning about something in arbitration and like all of this is literally happening. Or maybe no, it was right before the lecture. I think it was
yeah,
yeah,
I think the
before it
lecture
started.
was about to start,
It's
and the
true.
professor was just setting up the projector and the
Yeah.
PowerPoint presentation for the class. And then, as the class was about to start, this little fiasco took place.
Dude. And then it was me and some other, I don't remember her name. It was another girl that was also helping. And then it's like we went to the bathroom. I think she went to the bathroom and she gathered a lot of like paper towels and stuff. And I was just there like, oh my
That's right.
God, this poor kid. And everyone else is just like looking at you. And I'm like, these people are horrible.
Yeah, what can I say? And it was a MacBook I had like bought 3 months prior.
Yeah, we mentioned it was new, it was fresh.
Yeah, it was relatively new, and as soon as that happened, it kind of broke a piece of my heart. What can I say? It spent a lot of money on it. I
Yeah.
had to work hard for that.
I'm sure you did, but hey, it's
Uh,
still standing, so it still
yeah,
has some life in it, at least. And you gained a friendship out of it, because after that, like we'd always like sit
yeah,
together, chit chat, hang
yeah,
out
that's true.
outside uni. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that is true.
Right. So yeah,
It was the start of a good friendship. So I have that guy to thank for the spillage.
that is hilarious. So let's get into it in the next segment. And we are back. So, Saurav, what are we going to talk about today? Tell us.
Uh, so I think we could start from our time spent in London because that was where we met for the very first time.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the place where all of this started. So yeah, I think it would be a good idea to probably start talking about our experiences in London,
For
if
sure.
you think that would be all right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, let's do it. I am all for this. I think that's something that I feel like the listeners have heard like my perspective on how I like on what I did and like why I ended up in London, but they definitely haven't heard yours. So I'd love to like piece together someone else's experience. Like that's super cool in my opinion. So, why
Yeah,
London?
that sounds
Why
good.
London? Why London? Why Queen Mary? Why international dispute resolution?
Okay. So to answer your first question, why London?
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't particularly invested in moving to London per se,
Fair.
but I was always fascinated by the quality of education that the UK offered.
100%. No doubt about that.
And yeah, and obviously London, one of the best cities to live in the world. So it was a pretty easy decision for me to move to London because, as you know, British culture is very big in India.
Mm-hmm.
So we've grown up learning a lot about the British culture and the Commonwealth. So it was always uh, implanted at the back of our minds that London is one of those places you should live if you
Mm-hmm.
ever get the opportunity. So it was pretty much an easy decision for me to move
Mm-hmm.
to London. Although I would say that I was also considering going to study in Sydney, Australia.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
I didn't know
so
that.
it was a toss up between Sydney and London, and for London finally got the nod. And to answer your second question as to why Queen Mary,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll answer it uh, alongside my answer for the third question as well. So
Oh
I've
yeah.
always been really interested in pursuing dispute resolution as a
Mm-hmm.
specialization after my UG.
Yeah.
So it was a no-brainer for me to pick one of the best arbitration courses that is being offered in the United Kingdom,
Not
and
only that, but
that
in the
is
world, in the world, surprisingly. And I was like, oh wow, we really went to a really good uni.
exactly. So it was never a doubt for me, or it was never a question for me as to which university to pick because I was
Mm-hmm.
only interested in pursuing arbitration.
Fair.
So yeah, Queen Mary was a no-brainer for me. And then it was also the fact that if I enrolled in Queen Mary University, it also get to fulfill my dream of living in London. So it was a
True.
win-win situation for me.
Was for sure.
Yes.
That's so cool. I think I don't for me, I wanted to do this resolution. I actually applied to Queen Mary. I applied to what was it, King's. Then I also ended up applying to what was that one? I think it was UCL. And Queen Mary,
Mhm.
like I applied like what is it? I applied in like October. 2 days later, they gave me the offer, and I was like, "What is this? You guys are too easy." I actually wanted to go to King's, but King's like they like put so many barriers for me to go there. And then after like 8 months, and it's like at that point, it's like I have to start making a decision. They were like, "Yeah, no, you're not in." And I was like, "Damn, I waited for so long to get a response back." And
Mm.
yeah, UCL rejected me like immediately, which makes sense because what? So but I
Mm.
don't know how you felt about the course, but I like that was one of the best years of my life. Like I absolutely loved Queen Mary. I absolutely loved like CCLS. That was like so much fun. like a lot of those people were a lot of like were also really inspiring. I don't know how you felt about it, but like every day, every time I'd walk in there, yes, I was tired. Yes, I did not do the reading, or maybe I did, but I was just like, oh my God, I'm so inspired to be here. So it's like even the assignments were super interesting. So I don't know how you felt about it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I have a similar outlook on my experience at Queen Mary. Lovely university, beautiful campus, very picturesque.
True.
And if you remember the Milan campus, it was right at the banks of a canal.
It was super cool to be there. Even though I don't,
Yeah.
did you have lectures in Maryland? Because some people did. I didn't, but some people did.
Yes, I did. I had an elective course I had to attend at Milan.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I used to go there once a week. So it was really fun experience visiting the Milan campus as well.
Damn.
And the law school campus located in Holborn as well.
Mm-hmm.
Really at the heart of the city, you know?
Yeah. And it's like the craziest
That's what,
part is that like we're at Lincoln's Inn, so it's like all of the like chambers and barristers were there, and it's like, damn, we're really in the heart of it. We're really in.
yeah, that's exactly right. We were next to the the UK Higher Court, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the UK Court of Justice. We were right around the corner from there as well,
We were
right like a stone throws away from Australia House.
true.
So yeah, the campuses were located very strategically
I
in the
agree.
city of London. So it was a lovely experience going about the different campuses, and my experience as well as a student in Queen Mary was nothing short of spectacular.
I, I think I think it was cool. I think I met cool people. I made really good friends out of it. You're including yourself. I think I'll say my
Yeah,
first the thing is I was you know what's crazy? I felt especially in arbitration, I felt so lost for the first semester. That's why like I didn't do as well as I wanted to on the exam, but like I still did pretty well. But yeah,
yeah,
no, I was like, what is that? And it's like, I think when you do masters, you forget that there's people who know what they're doing. So some people are coming in hot, like, yeah, this, that, da, da, da. And it's like, dude, I don't even know what you're saying. Like, I have no idea what you just said. What did you just say? Oh my God. And I felt,
yeah,
I really felt judged by other people because I knew less, but like you were someone who like never judged me. So I really appreciate that, like for real. Like,
yeah.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course not. So my only point is that everybody's come to learn a new
Right?
skill. So it's all right to make mistakes, you know?
For sure.
You're still learning, which is why you're learning from professionals who are seasoned in their own fields, very seasoned professionals. So it's all right to make mistakes, you know? Once, if
Hmm.
you do make a mistake, there are people around you to correct you and guide you to in the right path. So
Right?
why not?
Basically. That's
So yeah, exams were really fun for me because I really loved listening to professors in classes and taking down notes, important pointers down. So all I had to do was go back home and revise on my pointers and notes that I had written earlier
hmm
in the day. And it was pretty seamless for me, I would say. Most of my exams, aside from one or two subjects which were kind of tricky to deal with, I did really have a seamless experience on all my assignments as well.
fair enough. Fair enough. Let me say one thing.
And
No, go ahead.
yeah,
Sorry. No, go ahead.
oh yeah, sorry to cut you off, but yeah, I was just uh, going to tell you about how our professors also had a big role to play in that.
They
We had
did.
really good professors who did a wonderful job at explaining the subject to us students, you know.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah, we do have our professors to thank for that.
yeah, and like they were also really passionate. I think a lot of them were I only had one or two professors where I was like, you don't want to teach, and I can feel that you don't want to teach, but whatever, here you are, it's fine. Like I had literally, I think it was like ADR. Um, our professor, she like they kept having on guest lecturers, and I was like, this is what are you trying to do here? Why are you not teaching us? But you know what? We got to meet a lot of guest lecturers, so I think that was cool. But I will say one thing. This is not a jab, but public affairs advocacy is absolute BS. That class was absolute BS. The essay we had to write was BS. The professor was on some bullshit. No, he was on BS. No, are you serious? I think we did that class together, and every week I was like, this is stupid. What are we doing?
Yeah, I do remember that lecture. Yeah, it was not really stimulating on an intellectual
No,
basis, you know,
not at all.
not
Not
very
at all.
stimulating. So, yeah, it kind of made me fall asleep those lectures, not
It
gonna
was
lie to you.
right. And then it was also like third term. So we were very much like, I'm so done. Can we please be finished with uni? It's like summer, it's July, but we're inside. We're in lectures. Like, please let me go outside. No. Listen,
Yeah,
anywho, next segment.
that's true.
That's true. Next segment. And we're back. So, Saurav, do you want to continue our conversation or do you want to pivot onto something else?
Um, I would like to maybe turn the conversation around
Go ahead.
and take it in a new direction
Let's do
per
it.
se. So, yeah, I would also like to know about how your time spent abroad shaped your mindset or shaped your the way you think and the way you approach life.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, tell me something about that if you can, please.
Do you know what's crazy? I've always lived abroad. Like, this is one of the first times that I'm living, like, back home, but I'm not even in my own country. So, am I still technically living abroad? Basically. But, I'm so close to home that I'm like, man, it's all the same country at this point. But yeah, like I grew up in Italy, then I moved to France, so then I moved to the States, then I like moved to the UK for uni, and I was in uni. Yeah, I was in the UK for like 4 years for uni, and that was a long time. That was a really long time. But I think living in the West definitely it feels like you're at the center of everything and that like everything that you do is like important or that like things that happen are important. So then when you come back home, you feel a little bit like people look at you like you're a little bit shinier or that like you now bring a special perspective. I don't know what your experience has been, but like everyone's like, "Oh, so you live there. Oh, so you did this. Oh, ooh, what is it like out there?" It's like you're like a mystical creature a little bit. But I think sometimes they don't understand the reality of living out there. It's like, "Oh, it's not as easy as you think it is." Like you've
Mhm.
seen where I lived when I was in London for masters. Like that house was
Yeah.
you saw my neighborhood, you saw where I was living. It was not as glitz and glam as people would think that the UK is. It was in a weird ass place. I don't know.
Yeah, Wood Green, was it?
It was Wood Green. Listen, I loved living in Wood Green. It was central. I could get to uni. I was on the Piccadilly line. Uni was only 20 minutes on the tube. If I wanted to go somewhere else, I could just switch here on like Victoria line or like anywhere else. I could go to King's Cross and I could switch to literally anywhere else. So I liked living in Wood Green. I just didn't like the house that we were living in Wood Green, but it was like cute and cozy and homey. So like I can't fully complain. But I think that's like a summary of like what my experience is that like even moving back here since I grew up out there maybe I feel like I'm more associated from with being from out there like in the West so then when I move back here people's thinking is a little bit different like I guess people are a lot more like traditional conservative in some certain ways so it's like when oh yeah when I was at work when I was interning at Foreign Affairs um you'd have conversations with people and like the things and the topics that they talk about are so like left field and you like bring other perspectives and they're like, oh, but you're not from here, so it's like you wouldn't know. And it's like, hey man, leave me alone. I'm just trying to bring a different perspective, but it's like sometimes people just don't want to hear it. So I don't know what your experience was like. Like, I think what I want to ask you is like, how was like doing uni in India, like undergraduate in India, and then moving to the UK? Like, was the teaching different? Was the culture shift different? Like, how did you like find all of that?
Okay, that's a good question.
Yeah.
So, my UG experience in India was, how do I put it? Really confusing in a way,
Oh, okay.
in that we had a really good college infrastructure
Mm-hmm.
and we had amazing professors from all over the world actually.
That's
So we had a professor from Australia called Mr. Sean Starr, who
mm-hmm.
was teaching us the law of torts. And then we also had, yes, and then we also had an American professor having us teach law of contracts. So my experience with professors from abroad was always a thing for me since
Mm-hmm. Oh,
since my undergraduate course. So it was not really a cultural shock per se in terms of like the teaching experiences
mm-hmm.
being offered in both places,
Right.
and also in terms of assignments. We had a pretty similar assignment structure.
Structure, yeah.
So you had to submit them on Turnitin. You had to submit those assignments on Turnitin and check your
Yeah.
plagiarism report, and then submit your assignments. So even the assignment structure was pretty similar, and the pass mark for the course was pretty high. It was capped at 50%. So we did have to work hard. If we wanted to pass, it was a 50% cap. So you had to score at least half of the entire
Yeah, no, I think
mark
that's
structure.
crazy. In the UK, I think it's 40%. Anything below 40,
Yeah.
that's absolutely insane. That's insane.
Yeah, anything below 50 in India, or at least in my university, you fail. So the standards were pretty high. So we had to be on our toes at all times
Yeah, for sure.
and
That's insane.
constantly revise the lecture notes and keep up to date with the ongoing transitions in the legal structure of the country,
A
you know?
100%. Oh yeah, that's also another thing. Like I think that's one thing that in my undergraduate, that's not something that they really like some lecturers under like emphasized it, but other people are just like, yeah, learn the material. Like I think now that I'm lecturing, I'm like, guys, engage with the law, engage with the
Yeah.
law, because that's how you're gonna get good at it. Read articles, watch the news, keep up with legal news, know what's going on, not only in the law of your country, but abroad, because it can affect the law here. Like that's something that I cannot stress more and more. And also, oh my God, obviously, I don't know if you want to talk about this, but like gain legal experience. Like I have a cousin who she's doing law in South Africa, and I was like, have you started looking? She goes, I'm still in first year. I'm like, that doesn't matter. She's like, yeah, I was shadowing. And it's like, start shadowing, see if you can volunteer, just like anything so you can get that experience. Because that's how you essentially figure out what you like in law and what you don't. But that's super cool how it's like for you, it was like, oh yeah, like technically I'm going to an Indian university, but there's already so much like international exposure that like I guess what when you moved to like London, you were like, oh, this is just another day. So it wasn't like that different. There wasn't a culture
Yeah,
shock.
the transition academically, like I'd mentioned, was not really that much different from my experience in India.
Mm-hmm.
But culturally speaking, and in terms of the societal structure,
Yeah.
that was a very big shock in terms of
Ooh, what
like
shocked you?
how different the British culture is from Indian culture, you know?
Mm-hmm. What shocked you? Well, I guess what shocked you the most?
Uh, the day drinking. the day drinking, yeah. I mean, people do day drink in India, but you can't drink out in the public. So you don't see a lot of people going around with
Oh,
bottles of beer, bottles of whiskeys, and just drinking uh, out there. So people, there is specified locations and specified designated zones where you can
mm,
drink. So
okay.
you just don't see people going around with bottles in their hands. So that was a big shock to me, where the moment I landed in the UK for the first time and I got out to the Victoria station,
Mm-hmm.
I see this one guy just sipping straight out of a beer, and there was a policeman right next to him walking by, and he said nothing. That
Oh,
was a shock to
fair.
me. I was like, why isn't he saying anything? And I
Why
just
isn't
look
he
it up
saying
and
anything? Okay, yeah, I understand
yeah,
how that would be a shock. Yeah, no. I've heard about that in some countries, like that's not really a thing. I know in the US, like that's
yeah,
really a thing. Like they give you like
yeah,
the brown bag, so it's like you're hiding the
yeah,
alcohol, but like where like how I grew up and where I grew up, like people I was drinking beer on a train, on the tube, just chilling, no problem. Like that's something I grew up around. So for me it wasn't like but I understand why that would be a culture shock. That's crazy. I didn't know that in India
yeah.
that's not really allowed.
Yeah, you can't drink in the public when you're out in public.
Damn. You learn something new every single day. That's
Yeah, exactly. And another thing which was really surprising was also the fact that it gets dark at 3:30, 4 p.m. in the UK in the winters.
oh my God, don't remind me.
So being out at 3 p.m. and realizing it's dark was something which drove me crazy for the longest time, because in India it's always sunny, it's always bright, even in the winters.
Yeah,
The temperature shoots up to 31, 32 degrees Celsius. So it's always a warm day in India, any
but
time of the year.
is that specifically in Hyderabad where you are or like
Eh,
everywhere?
No, yeah. So yeah,
That's everywhere.
that's a that's a good point you made. No, it's mostly primarily in the south of India,
Fair. Okay, got you.
where it's really sunny because it's closer to the equator.
Fair. Mm-hmm.
But again, in the north of India, it does get really cold up there.
Oh,
But the summers are equally, well, they're equally as bad. We have very severe summers and winters in up north. So, there are regions where it snows as well,
mm-hmm.
like in the
Yeah, no,
northernmost states of India.
yeah,
Yeah,
wasn't
the
it like
Himalayas.
Himalayas and like
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Does it snow in Bihar? Like Bihar?
No, it doesn't. But yeah, it doesn't really snow, but the thing is, Bihar is shares a border with Nepal,
That's why
the
I thought it would
country.
snow. Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, oh, Nepal, Bihar, like probably doesn't it snow?
Yeah, so the Himalayas are a little further away, but the fun fact is that from Bihar, you can actually see the Himalayas located all the way in Nepal.
That's so wild. But I think, I mean, it makes sense. It is the highest peak. So
Eh,
that's
Yeah, the highest mountain range in the world.
right.
So it's actually really, really crazy when you think about it, that you're looking at something which is located thousands of kilometers away in a different country, and you
Right?
still can see it.
You'll see it. That's so wild. Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah,
Wait. So wait. Yeah. Like, so yeah. Next segment. Alrighty. So we're back. So yeah. I feel like I cut you off. What did you want to say?
yeah, it was just my question was going to be about how you like being a lecturer.
Good sir. It's early days, you could say. It's early days. So it's cool right now. I think before this we were talking and we were saying how like just going through like just a career progression stuff. So it's like I've done in-house, I've done private practice. So I'm like, you know what? This is like the next step. Maybe this is the next step. And I was even talking to one of my colleagues about it, and he was like, you know what? Like you're young. I feel like he was like, I've done it all. I think this is like what I wanted to do all along. So maybe this is it. But on to you. What else do you have going on? Like how how are things with you? Like how was your transition from like moving, living in the UK for about 2 years, and then like moving back home? Like how was that transition for you?
Uh, it was not a smooth transition for sure.
Yeah,
It's never easy moving to a different country.
true.
It's never easy. It's something, I mean, you have to familiarize yourself with a newer culture.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're also in a situation where have to make new friends, live in a new house, and familiarize yourself with the culture, like I said, and also be able to enjoy the culture and, in our case, the academics,
Yeah,
So
I feel you.
it was not a, yeah, so it was not a very smooth transition, but I settled down eventually. It took me a couple of months to settle down and familiarize myself with the societal norms and the structure of the British society. But once I accustomed myself to it, it was kind of a fun experience. I really, really miss my time in London. And yeah, if I ever get a chance, I will definitely one day want to be back in London.
For sure. I think for me, I'm thinking maybe not London, maybe somewhere else. I'm like, I don't know. I want to explore more of the world, so maybe somewhere else. I don't know where. Where would you go if it wasn't London? What would you see?
Uh, I've I I would definitely want to visit two countries which are on the top of my bucket list.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
One is New Zealand and one is Japan.
New Zealand is insane. Japan, I 100% agree with you. New Zealand is insane. I think me as a person, I've been on long plane rides. Like I think the longest air ride that I've taken is like 16 to 18 hours. New Zealand is far. Australia is far. How will I get there?
Yeah.
I think what I could do is like if I go to Indonesia and then from Indonesia I go to Australia, that's fine. But for me to be like, yeah, guys, so leaving Botswana, going to Australia, see y'all on the other side. No, that is insane. No. Why New Zealand?
Yeah.
Why New Zealand? Why?
Uh, I enjoy countries more for their natural beauty.
Oh, fair.
So I feel like New Zealand is a perfect dichotomy of beautiful sceneries and big cities. And for some reason, I feel like it's also the edge of the world.
Fair. It is.
So I've always been fascinated by the beauty of New Zealand and the Maori culture as well.
Yeah, they have a
So that has always excited me as a person. So I've always wanted to visit New Zealand.
fair enough. I get that. I can
Yeah, and Japan is
Japan.
another no-brainer.
Yeah, no, for
Japanese
sure.
culture is huge.
For sure.
So,
Japan is amazing. So that makes complete sense.
yeah.
So, so yeah, I think hold on. Let's go on to the next segment. So yeah, we're back. Saurav, this is the end of the podcast. And I don't know, it's been great having you. Like I found out so many things about you, like that I just didn't know. And I also found out so many things about India that I didn't know. And like I know you invited me to come to India, and I'm like, yeah, guys, I need to come to India. When are you getting married so I can come to India?
That's probably gonna be a while.
While, guys, we're getting older. I want marriages in the next 2, 3 years. Come on now.
Oh wow, I can't promise you anything, but before my wedding, there's going to be my brother's wedding for sure within the next year. So
Oh, that's so
you're very welcome to visit India for my brother's wedding as well.
That's so cool. Oh my God, thank you for the invite. Okay, that's so cool. Okay. I'll have
Yeah,
to think about this one. That's really cool. That is really cool. Damn.
yeah,
Cool. But yeah,
definitely. I would love to
definitely.
have you here.
Oh, I'd love to come. How did you find our conversation today?
Oh, it was really engaging, and I got to know a few things about you that I didn't know either by way of this podcast. So I'm really happy that we did this.
I'm happy to.
And like I said, since it's been a while since we've caught up, it
Mm-hmm.
feels really nice to be able to talk and, you know, get to know what's going on in each other's life. So this
For
has been really
real.
fun.
Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you so much for coming on the pod. Convince your friends to come on the pod. Tell your friends to tell your
Uh,
friends. But yeah,
of course.
of course. Also, how are you feeling about yourself?
Uh, I would like to say that I am in a pretty good place.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and yeah, I'm getting healthier and I've been going to the gym on the regular and I've been playing some pickleball lately.
Oh my God, you play paddle, you play pickleball?
Yeah, I've started playing pickleball lately and that's been really fun. A lot of the youth in India is picking up on pickleball
Oh
and it's
my
become
God.
a cultural phenomenon at the moment in India.
They've got
So,
you too?
ev
Oh my God. They've got
yeah, it's everybody's on that bandwagon now.
Oh my God, they got you. So they got Sourav, guys. It's over. They got you.
Yeah. What can I say? It's really a fun game.
Oh, that's crazy. I'm like flabbergasted. I'm so flabbergasted. That's so cool though. I'm glad you're feeling like good, feeling healthier, feeling confident in yourself. That's a real vibe.
Yeah,
These are things that we love to hear. So yeah, thank you for coming on the pod. Would love to have you
of
on
course.
again. And thank you to the listener for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, all of the sorts. And yeah, just tune in. And yeah, guys, if you want to hear more stories, please listen to this podcast. All right, bye. Yo, bye
All right.
bye.